What's up, everybody? This is DJ Lyon, and this is the Support Your Boy podcast. Now, this is the first time I'm actually going to go ahead and do a small episode without a guest. Okay, I have a guest coming a little bit later, but I want to talk to you guys about live streaming, going live, and how to get better at it in my own experience. Okay, so when I started to go do this podcast, I started doing podcasting behind the scenes. For example, for Laughing at Your Life podcast, I was the producer, and still am the producer. And Laughing at Your Life will be coming back, just to let you guys know. That's a little secret. But we're still working on the format and things of that nature. We're going to make some changes. Anyway, I was always behind the scenes. You know, I love being the behind the scenes guy, you know, but what I figured out is that, for example, I would go live stream on TikTok and sometimes on Instagram. And what I've noticed is some people will pop in and pop out. I'm pretty sure if you guys have went live before, you know what I'm talking about. Friends of yours, and people who are not friends of yours, you know, possibly people just checking you out, will come into your live. Some may leave a comment. Most will not. Most will not leave a comment. That goes for Instagram and TikTok. But I've also noticed that some people, when they notice that there's nobody in the live, when they see 0 in the area where it says how many people are in the live, nobody wants to keep it going or keep talking because they think no one's listening. And I was like that too, until I figured out that you should still keep going even if nobody's listening. Reason why is because when it comes to live streaming and going live or podcasting, whatever, if you're doing anything in a live kind of nature, you're not an expert the first time you do it. And you're not an expert the first 10 times you do it. What I've noticed in my experience, the more I go live, the more comfortable I get in conversating on. Now, there's people out there who definitely are comfortable. Like, say, if you're a musician and you've done music videos and interviews before, you feel like you're comfortable. But could you go live and conversate with somebody or conversate with nobody and continue it, knowing that no one is listening at the time when you're going live? From what I've seen and what I've heard many people have done on TikTok and Instagram is, okay, 5 people up in here. I'm gonna wait till some more people come up in here before I talking. They would do something like that, and then if it stays on like 5 people or 7 people, like, y'all ain't really coming through for me like I expected. I'm gonna have to just go ahead and stop this live, and y'all gonna have to come correct and come see me. And they'll end the live, but because they didn't get the desired amount of people paying attention that they wanted. I'm not too fond of that. I was, because I was kind of like that way too. But just to kind of give you guys my point of view, what kind of helped me when it comes to going live or live streaming and things of that nature. Keep going. Keep going even when nobody is listening. Now, it sounds strange. You feel like you're talking to a camera and nobody's listening to you. Still keep going because you're still creating content. You're still creating content that could possibly be used and spread on YouTube and Shorts for Instagram. Because good content doesn't just come to you like that. What I've noticed is you start to build something when you conversate, either with someone or without. You start to build something, and you come onto a real good point, And you're like, oh, that's so dope. Yeah. And then you started to go ahead and put that out as a short. You know what I mean? I've noticed when I go live that I can go ahead and conversate and talk to basically nobody on TikTok or just to myself on Instagram. And it made me more comfortable to be able to speak to you guys how I'm speaking to you now. You ever notice on my podcast here, Support Your Boy podcast, always with a guest? This is the first time I'm actually doing it by myself, conversating to you about going live streaming, and one more thing that makes it happen, made it happen for me is being consistent. I think consistency when you go live is what makes you successful. Even though that, you may not come up with the greatest stuff, you just stay consistent, keep going. Stuff will start coming out comfortably as you do it. One thing I wanted to fix about my live streaming or going live is to stop saying so much. I still do. I still say a lot, but I've gotten better. You know what I've done to kind of help me? Take a pause. Just like that. It'll help me get my thoughts back together, and it keeps me from saying That's kind of what I'm finding out about myself when I'm live streaming. And when I live stream, like for example on TikTok, and I'll be talking to nobody. Basically meaning that there'll be a zero in where how many people are paying attention, and there's nobody in the comments or anything like that. And sometimes people pop in and pop out. We all have gone through that where people pop in and pop out. I do it, and a lot of people do it, so no reason to be fake about it. We all do it. But as a person who's trying to get better at live streaming or going live, I think that takes practice. And the only way you can practice that is going live and not expecting a giant amount of people to show up for your live. Be comfortable with no one there. Live streaming. You kind of forget the camera's even on. And that's the point I'm trying to get to, where I can talk to you guys and not even trip if the camera's even on. Still know it's on, I still know that I'm being recorded and the stuff that I'm saying may make sense, may not make sense, may be interesting, and may not be that interesting. I know it. But I think I get better and better and better the more I do it. You know what I mean? The more I do this, where I can talk to you, whether you're here or not, just be able to get it out is important. Even if no one's listening. So if you take anything away from what I'm saying, when it comes to live streaming or going live, because I know there's a lot of people who are afraid to go live because they think that they have to have the best background, best sound, the best, video that you possibly can. Mine is, I've seen people have way better backgrounds on TikTok and Instagram than I do. Way better. And guess what I saw? Like maybe 10, 15 people show up in a live. I actually know of a person on TikTok who does their TikTok, and they do it like in their bedroom, by a bunk bed, and the clarity is really bad. But I seen like 115 people in his TikTok live. 115. And then I saw a DJ who had like a video background going, like he had like a bunch of lights and lasers and shit. And he had 12. Yeah. What I noticed the difference between the two is I barely see that DJ. But that dude who's always like going live next to his bunk bed and his really just, glitchy lives, he's doing it every day. See him in the morning, see him in the evening. I'm going to see him tomorrow. I'm going to see him the day after that. Every time I go on TikTok, he's always there. It's crazy. And you're wondering, how can that be? If you have the best looking shit, don't you think everybody want to see that? Yeah, they want to see it in the beginning. But you ain't really built nothing with nobody. And I think that it's not even about building something with people. People will want to see you no matter what. If you're consistent. That's what I feel when it comes to going live in live stream. The more consistent you are doing it, the more they're going to want to watch. Because you're going to start feeling like a TV channel to them. Who's going to want to watch a TV channel that comes on like once a month? How are you going to be invested? You know what I mean? So what I've learned at this time, when it comes to live streaming or going live, is to keep doing it. Keep going. Do not concern yourself with how many people are in there leaving comments, how many people are tapping your screen. Of course, you want them to do that when you're on TikTok, and you want them to go ahead and share your live when you're on Instagram. And you're wondering, am I getting better at this? Why come I don't have that many people? I think if you're being consistent and they see you all the time, I believe that not only would you get better as a person who's live streaming, but you also start to build that fan base on live. I think the people will come once they know they can depend on you to be there. And that's what I'm working on, trying to be more consistent, going live, even if it's by myself. Now, I'm going live on the Support Your Boy podcast with the guests all the time. But I'm pretty sure some people, if you've never asked this, I've asked this myself. Why don't I go ahead and talk about my thoughts? What's going on in my head? What's going on with me? The Support Your Boy podcast is about me supporting other people. But sometimes I gotta learn how to support myself. You know what I mean? So, if any of you out there who's thinking that I want to go live, but I don't think nobody's going to be listening, bro. I don't think nobody's going to pay attention to me because I don't even know what to say. Just say something. You know what made me want to talk about this? It just popped in my head and I just turned the camera on. Some people may be interested in what I'm saying. Some people may like what I'm saying. Some people are like, bro, that shit boring as fuck. Talk about live streaming, who cares? But it popped in my head, and this is just me sharing my thoughts, sharing my experience, and let you know what I've learned. So, for those out there who's kind of a little scared to go live because you're afraid that your background is not up to par or your camera's not all that great, it's going to be later. And I've also noticed that just because you have all that great stuff, don't mean you're going to be interesting when you go live. That shit takes time, and that shit takes practice, and that shit takes consistency. I don't know what to tell you after that. This is DJ Lyon here for the Support Your Boy podcast. Until next time, you guys. Peace.